Hello everyone, I'm Tess from the Arty Crafty Place and thank you for joining me for a new Christmas printing video. So in today's video I want to show you how you can hand print your own fabric wrapping. Now fabric wrapping is something that's become a lot more popular in the last few years, and I speak to lots of guests and customers that do hand print their own fabric to wrap presents with. It's a way to be more sustainable, and also it's something that can be kept so it works as a present in itself. And I see lots of people wrapping with scarves and things. So I wanted to show you how you can print your own fabric to use as wrapping this year. We have these beautiful cotton napkins that have been finished around all four sides. They're quite a thin, light cotton, and I'm using these as fabric wrapping. I did print a piece of scrap fabric that I used to wrap with. So this was just some old bedding I found in the cupboard, and I printed this and used it to wrap a present. But I did think that this is really good if I'm giving it to somebody that is interested in textiles and sewing, so that they can do something with the fabric because the edges aren't finished. But if you're giving it to somebody that might not have any purpose to use it again after, something like these plain fabric napkins are really good. Like I said, they're finished on all four sides, so they're something that can be kept. It can be kept to use as wrapping again, maybe as a pocket scarf or a bandana. So there's lots of uses of these. So I think these are really nice and definitely what I'm going to be doing lots of wrapping with this Christmas. So I'm going to show you how easy they are to print. So I'm going to print mine in this elegant cow parsley design. I have done a couple in a Christmas design, but those are then only really to be used at Christmas time. So if you want something that can be used all year round, like this Moroccan tile or paisley, then you may want to think about printing in a non-Christmas design because the person you're giving it to might get more use out of it. So I'm going to be using the elegant cow parsley, and I'm going to be using a silver and midnight blue for this. I still want it to be quite festive, so the silver is definitely going to help with that. For this project, I've got two of our A3 foam mats stuck together, and I sometimes find this really useful, so you've got a larger surface area, and you can see then that my napkin fits really well across the width. So do bear that in mind. If you've got multiple mats, you can stick them together with some masking tape, and that creates a larger surface for you to print on. So I'm going to pop my paints out. So I've got a lovely midnight blue here, and I'm going to use a really nice silver, which doesn't come up really metallic on fabric, but it does come up quite pearlescent, so it does add a nice touch. And I'm going to be using my sponge dabbers for this. Like I've said before, it's really important that you're using sponge dabbers when you're doing two-colour printing. So I'm going to be doing midnight blue on the bottom of the elegant cow parsley, and I'm going to do a nice silver on the top, and I'll probably get a nice blend in the middle. And like I said, I really like printing my fabric wrapping in a non-Christmas pattern so that it can be used all year round. And you can choose the design you do on these, whichever blocks you have at home. You don't need to purchase any new ones to do this. And most designs you can make feel a little bit more festive by just using some kind of Christmassy colours, whether that's silver or gold, red and green. You can always make things feel a bit more Christmassy. So you can see how well that's printed on there. Looks really nice, and it's going to give me a really nice effect. This is a really popular printing block, this elegant cow parsley. So I feel like the person I'm going to give it to is going to get a lot of use out of this fabric. And I'm not going to be too perfect with my pattern. I'm going to randomly print all over, so you get a nice coverage of prints. And if I've got too many white gaps at the end, I can always fill it in. So I'll carry on printing this and show you when I'm finished. So I'm nearly at the end of my fabric wrap now, and I'm really happy with the design. I think this cow parsley with the silver on top looks really elegant, and I know it's going to make a lovely wrap. So we sell these fabric wraps. We sell 4 for £5, or you can pick them up for £2 each. And if you're buying a nice sheet of wrapping paper from the shops, you could easily spend more than that. So this is a really lovely alternative. And it can definitely be used after. So like I said, it might be able to be used as an item that's used in the house, or maybe the guest that you give it to can reuse it again and use it as a sheet of wrapping paper themselves and gift it to somebody else. So it's a really lovely way to be more sustainable and really be conscious about what we're doing, because lots of wrapping paper these days can't be recycled. So being more conscious about what you're giving to others is really important. So I think I should be able to squeeze another 2 prints on here. And I've got a really nice colour blend between the blue and the silver. You don't need to be too precise when you're tapping on the paint, because actually that colour blend is really nice. So when you get to the end, just think about where you're going to place your last designs so that you can make sure you can squeeze them in. And then you just want to make sure that you're always printing your fabric wrapping in a textile paint. So I'm using our fabric paint here so that it's going to be permanent and washable. It'd be a shame if you gave it to somebody that intended to keep it and use it and it just washed off when they put it in the washing machine. So always use your fabric paint, and once it's perfectly dry, make sure you iron over the surface of the paint, and that will set it and make it permanent and washable. So I'm going to put this aside so it can dry, and I'm going to show you how to wrap a present with your fabric gift wrap. So this is a fabric wrap I printed earlier, and I printed this with our new Wonky Star Christmas tree in a lovely gold and olive green. So this is a really festive one. Like I said, I wanted to try a couple in Christmas designs and a couple non-Christmas designs, but this one's really lovely and it's going to look really bright and colourful under the Christmas tree. So I'm going to show you how to wrap it. So I've got a soap box here, so it's got a couple of soaps inside. So this is a really lovely way to gift someone almost an extra gift if you're just giving someone maybe a smaller present or something handmade and you want to make it really special. So there's a little box with some soaps in, and I'm going to turn my fabric gift wrap over, and you want to place your present in the centre on the diagonal. So it's in the centre, and then you're going to pick up 2 corners of the fabric and make sure your present is sitting in the centre. And then all I'm going to do is just fold my fabric over and over until I reach the present. This is just going to give you a nice finish to the gift wrap. Now there's lots of different ways that you can use fabric wrapping. I know there's lots of books online that you can get and lots of videos on YouTube. So it's definitely worth having a look around to see if there's any other ways that you can wrap using fabric. So I've got this nice fold, and you almost want to fold it as if you were wrapping a present with paper. You just want to make it as nice a finish as possible. And one of the whole reasons we wrap with fabric and try to be more sustainable is not using any sellotape. So you can always use string to secure your fabric, or you can just tie it. So what I've done there is brought the loose corners together, and now I'm just going to tie them in a little bow or a little double knot and fluff up the edges, and that's going to give me a really nice finish to my fabric wrapping. And you can see here, this is another one I did earlier. This was with a paisley in 2 colours. So there's lots of different options that you can do, and you can really be creative and experiment with different designs and patterns and colours and come up with the perfect fabric wrapping for yourself. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this, and it's given you some tips on how you can try and be more sustainable this Christmas. Thanks very much for watching.